Right, so 7 Days has just released its 2.5 Survival Revival update, promising to fix the stuff out of 2.0 and bring back a bunch of the stuff that we lost in previous updates, including bringing back glass jars. So, the question is, have they fixed 7 Days? Let's find out. G'day guys, my name's Josh, you can call me JaWoodle, and welcome back to 7 Days, but welcome to the 2.5 update. An update that came out of nowhere, there was no build up to it, just bang, here's an update, here's all the fixes we've done, which is promising a lot of things. Apparently, supposedly, this is the update to fix all of the problems that's been happening for a long time. So I'm so excited, I'm so curious to see if it actually has. Is 7 Days back? There's a lot of new stuff that's been added, a lot of new stuff that's been changed as well. I've got it all written down over here so I can work through it, but I'm not gonna bury the lead. I'm not gonna bury the lead at all. First thing is absolutely gonna be first, jars. We've got them. Empty water jars. We can finally go and drink water in the game. Go and fill up a flask at a river or a lake or something to boil and make clean, just like every survival game's ever had. Good. We still got the note from the Duke of Narva's game as well. That will probably mean something at some point in the future. Okay, let's go find some water to fill this up. Oh, there we go. There's a swimming pool or a lake or something up on the hill up here. So jars have been such like a contentious issue for so long. If you don't know why it's such a big deal, then I'm not gonna just waste half an hour of your life trying to tell you. But I think it kind of got lost in the water, ironically, a little bit, about why jars were important. People kind of got so obsessed with the jar itself. All we needed was a way to gather water. There was no way to gather water in the game. Could have been a bucket, could have been an old milk carton, anything. That's why the jars were important. They just used to be jars back in the day. Look at this. Now we've got it back again. They still drop a potato sack though. Look at this. Finally, water actually has importance in the game again. Right click to gather you. And it does take time. I like that. I like that it's not instantaneous. I kind of, from a gameplay point of view, I kind of wish it was like you dunk a jar in your pocket, dunk a jar in your pocket. So if you're filling 120 jars, it's going to take a long time, but that still took a moment or two, which I'm a big fan of. And now we have murky waters again. We are so back. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. I didn't mean to do it. I've been playing too much Vane recently. I was trying to open the debug menu so I could get rid of this zombie just here. So tilde, the button next to the #1 key, pops it into third person. One of the other new things that they've added. So we've got like proper third person now. The animations look good. Seems to work out pretty well. If I give myself like a gun though, just like an AK, how does like the gunplay and stuff work in third person? Oh, it's pretty decent over the shoulder actually. Not so bad. The reload animations are still a little bit jank, but you know, these things happen. That's just the 7 Days animation style. What about if I put got immediately distracted by the way. What if I put a reflex sight onto you and then aim down the sights? Does that make it a little better? Do you use the sight or? No, it's still just over the top, over the shoulder. But then you can just snap back and use the sights. I like that. That's a good addition. I quite like having the option. I'm assuming we're still gonna need to have the cooking pots. You look different? No, you're still the same. I assume we still need the cooking pots to boil the murky water though. Chuck as a fuel into you. Cooking pot required. Yeah, we do. Fair enough then. Okay, so you can just boil that. Easy as that. Such a simple thing. I need water. Go and gather some water in some sort of tub. Put it on the fire to make it clean and drink. We've got it back. Finally. I know that some people are going to be like, oh, why is it such a big deal? We had the dew collectors already, which we did, but survival, like it's any sort of survival, whether it be a game or real life survival, water's such an integral part of everything you do that like not being able to use the water in the world, it's never really made much sense to me. So having jars back or any container back that can gather water, great, fantastic. I mean, maybe, who knows? Maybe one day we'll get like the buckets in the game. Maybe one day we can get a buckets and go and fill that with water like this and just put that straight on the campfire and boil like 10 jars worth of water in one go. But I mean, listen, I'm asking for a lot with that. We've got the jars. I'm happy with that. We have a way to gather water. Now I'm just asking heaps. I mean, who knows? Maybe they've surprised me. If I put a bucket of water like in you somewhere, is there a spot for you? I can burn you apparently. Can I use you as fuel? I don't think water's that flammable, but hey, okay then, champion. That would be really cool though. Just get a bucket, whack it on the fire like a billy, and boil it up that way. That'd be sick. Oh, okay, so that didn't give me the jar back. I forgot to test that. So this is one of the more controversial things about this update that they've now walked back on. When they first announced 2.5, they said you have jars back, but if you drink it, you got to lose the jar every time. Which, okay, sure, as like a way to balance the water mechanics, which I didn't think it made a whole lot of sense. But there was a lot of pushback on that. So now there's in fact, I got it written down over here. So to balance gameplay, this is the quote from the website, by the way. To balance gameplay, jars are a one-time use, not refunded by default. So you eat the jar when you drink the jar. Murky water and other drinks still have a chance to be found in loot, which is good. Jars can be crafted in the forge with a crucible using sand and clay. I'll test that in a second. But this is the big one. So a jar refund menu option has been added, which can change the chance to get a jar back after you drink it from 5, 10, 20, 30, or up to 100%. So you can change what the chances are that you will get the jar back, which is so close to, I think, the best option available to this, because you should keep the jars you make. I get that. In fact, originally there wasn't a way to craft them either. Essentially, they just made some of the murky water jars you'd find in loot. Some of those would be empty, and that's how you get empty glass jars. But now that they're craftable, I feel like having it be like a return rate of 90% would be fine. So sometimes the glass jar breaks and you would have like an attrition rate to your glass jars. That would be pretty good, I think. So maybe like that 90% option might be what I play on. But I like that they gave us the option, and I like that they changed that. Because as it first came out, as they first announced it, that would have been atrocious. Gonna chuck a forge just down next to my campfire here and whack in the crucible. So if I search for jars, empty glass jar. So a couple of sands, a couple of clays. I mean, yeah, that's fine. Like if you're using glass jars as you go on and you have to keep replacing them, you're gonna need to go to the desert to get some sand. Not much, but some. So there would be that kind of like gameplay loop, that gameplay mechanic to keep up your water production. I like that. I like that a lot. I feel like it's back to a pretty good point. As I play it more, we'll get more of an idea about it. But as it stands at the moment, I think that's pretty good. I think that's a good fix. Everything else seems to be working the same as well. I did forget to mention that the UI has changed. They've finally fixed the bloody food and water bars. It's no longer those really slender things near the hotbar. It's now where every mod ever has put it, over underneath your health and stamina bar. So your food and your water's down there, but you also have the temperature that you're experiencing, the temperature of the world around you, up next to the compass as well. So you've got the day, you've got the time, and you've got the temperature. And apparently temperature now does stuff. We have to survive again. We're back in a survival game. I could probably even just test that right here, couldn't I? Just make a bit of a well in the lake and then jump into it. You are wet. Wetness is back. And what do you actually do to me? Oh, and a new little rendering of my guy in the character screen as well. G'day mustache, how you doing, hot stuff? You are wet, which will make you colder. This may or may not be a good thing. So it still says that it's 21 degrees outside, but for me, if I go to my character screen, so this used to say, it's not back again. This used to say in here what temperature you were feeling, but it doesn't have that now. Unless I'm just completely reading over it, but I don't think that it does. Food, water, stamina, health. No, it's not in there. Well, if I want to test the temperature stuff, let's go find a different biome and see how that affects me. So if I crack on into the desert, it's 27, 28, 30, 32, 35 degrees. It's getting pretty toasty. Oh, I forgot about that. I've been playing without biome survival on for so long. I forgot that the tonics, not the smoothies anymore. I forgot that the tonics were a thing. Dang. Okay, hang on a second. Can I just get like just like if I go desert, here we go. Desert gear that protects me against the biome stuff. Whack that on. So it won't keep me cool. It'll just stop me. It'll just stop me from feeling the effects of the hots. Yeah, okay. So we still have that gate. We have the badges and we have the tonics. Is that called tonic now? Sunstroke tonic. Does that cool me down at all, actually? No, it doesn't. It's still hot. That's not so bad because now that I'm in the desert, excuse me, love, where is the new spinner? So they got rid of that, like that weird Egyptian mummy thing that spat the wasps at you. That they've changed that to be a new skin, a new design. That's a ScoMo. Definitely not you. I shot the cactus a whole bunch. Is there a spinner around here somewhere for me? Jeez, apparently the rumors and the stereotypes are true and spinners are indeed quitters because I can't find any. They've quit the game. They've disappeared. Which, in fairness, actually, there was way too many of them in 2.0. Them and the FrostClaws, the guy who throws boulders, who's also been changed. We'll go have a look at him in a second. They were everywhere. They were completely abundant. That's what you saw most of the time. Making them rarer is a good shout. That's what they've done for this. But now I can't find any. Where are they all? Oh, I thought you might have been, but now you're just a regular... Ooh. Construction guy. There's new muzzle flashes on that gun. It's very like sparkler-y. It's like there's a whole lot more like gunpowder, like still burning gunpowder coming at the barrel. Is that the same with the AK? It is. They've got new muzzle flashes. They've done some work on these things. Excuse me, champion, have you seen any of the new spinners? I mean, it's a great impersonation, but not quite what I'm after. That's going to make me soggy, not stiggy. Imagine that. Imagine if that was one of the mechanics. Ooh, they brought back. No, that's a Yeti. You're a long bloody way from home. But if you get close to a zombie that's spooging out all of his goo, now that the wetness mechanic is back, like that would make you damp. That would make you wet. So if you're like close quarters with a baseball bat or a machete and taking zombies apart, you can get sodden. You can get weighed down and wetted with all of their juices. That would be an incredible, incredible detail. Oh, here he is. Oh my goodness, there's no way. He's got a cowboy hat on, and I found the first one I find with an Arlene. Some deep lore. That's a deep, deep lore pull on that one. Go away, Arlene. Get out of here. You and your bloody cowboys, Arls. Can't stop ya. So you're the you guy. You still spit the bees. And the bees, they still slow me down. They're still giving all the same things as they used to. So the bees are still the same, and they appear to fly the same as they used to by acting like a vulture. So you're the new boy. You're the new addition. The cowboys are back. Cowboys are back. G'day, champion. It's a nice big belt buck you got down there, just purely to draw the eyes down. Can I even just stop that? Get a proper look at you. That's a pretty good design. I rate that. I feel like I'm watching a John Wayne Old West movie. Clint Eastwood's going to come out of nowhere. But you do still have, I saw that for a second. Yeah, you've got the big gaping snake jaw. So same as what the old spinner used to have, but now you just like a reskin to the cowboy. No, I'm fine with this. This is good. Yep, sick. I rate that. Good change. I love that though. Of course it had to happen that the first time we see a new cowboy. Cowboy's been gone for so long. The first time we find a cowboy, he's out in the dunes with Arlene, rolling around in the sandy stuff and getting chafed everywhere. At least there was only one of them this time though, so that's an improvement for me and my mental anguish. Oh, here's another one just here too. Quickly drop you, so now they're starting to spawn a little more readily, or I'm just getting lucky finding a few on the trot. So, okay, well, so we've seen a new rancher. There's also the new, I was gonna say the new FrostClaw. It's a replacement to the FrostClaw. So less of like a fantastical mythological thing that we're going on in the 2.0 update. Now it's more based in the world of a zombie apocalypse. So you're gonna spawn in the winter, I'm sure. So I want to see what happens to the temperature out here. It's dropping rapidly. Is there anyone around? It's looking pretty empty. Neg form. Down to neg form. And I'm starting to suffer. A scorcher stew. Okay. Okay. Well, I still think I'll play with like the biome progression stuff turned off. Ah, well. Ah, well. Listen, it's just gotta deal with the cards you dealt. So that's interesting. I'm freezing. Oh, no, that's okay. Yes, that's the bad one. We've got like all the ice going around me. I can drink one of you. Oh, no, that's the thing though. It's not, that's not going to keep me warm. So it's kind of working the opposite way to what I thought it was going to do. So rather than... Ooh, are you one of the new guys? You are too. Hold your horses just for a second then. So I kind of thought that maybe these stews, these tonics, these smoothies as they used to be, they would handle the temperature effects as well, so you don't have clothing anymore, so you can get the stuff to protect you against the biome stuff, but to protect against the cold, you could drink the Scorcher Stew and that would keep you warm. That doesn't seem to be the case. Is there still, like, do you still keep me warm? Water cold resist 5, so if I chuck a coffee in, is that 5 degrees? Does it keep going up? Like, can I just pump myself full of caffeine and the jittering will keep me warm? No, not quite. What was the other thing that it kept you warm? I thought it was the yucca smoothie or the yucca juice, but the juice only gives you your stamina regeneration and water, and you give me heat resists. Is there anything I'm missing then? It's not coffee. You give me 10 cold resist, the blackstrap coffee. Will that get me up above freezing then? It does, but ooh. Not quite warm enough. I'm still cold, but I'm not freezing. Is there anything else in here? What else can I make? I don't think there is. I don't think there's anything in here that's going to get me warm enough to be able to be in the winter without freezing. So how would you go about that otherwise? Like, I'm not wearing anything at the moment, which I guess, you know, you probably don't want to go completely starkers out into the winter, but holding a torch gets me back up to at least 10 degrees. And above 10 degrees, I'm no longer freezing anymore. So as long as I have my torch, I'll be okay. Put the torch away, it's gonna start dropping again. Yeah, back down to being cold. All right, okay, I can deal with that. I wish there was some food in here that would keep you warm like there used to be, but it doesn't seem to be anymore. A raw meat bundle, and we'll get to that. But maybe I should have some clothing on. Oh, okay. Never bloody mind then. So even with a completely full set on, look at me making eye contact with everyone as well. Looking right down the barrel of the camera. So even wearing everything, I'm still just as cold as I was without it. So clothing does nothing. Wait. Oh, no, I forgot about that. Okay, so that's your armor, and we have a clothing spot. So there's a whole new system of clothing for it then. So like patchwork long underwear gives you both heat and cold resistance. So it's not like specific. So it's just like thermal resistance as a whole. It's not specific to hot or cold. It just protects you from stuff. So, okay. And there's 3 tiers to it. There's tattered, there's patchwork. What was the other one? So tattered, patchwork, and thermal core. So if I search thermal core, so these are the best ones. So you give me 5, both hot and cold resistance. So it's a full like underlayer of temperature resistance. So these can be looted. Can these be crafted? They're not in the crafting menu. So it says they can be found and worn to increase the player's hot and cold resistances. So I guess they're loot only, which, okay. No, I can get on board with that. I encourage you more to get out there and see what's going on. If you want to keep yourself able to survive easier and better biomes, then okay, go looting for it. That's fine. So if I get out of my god mode then, so even with the thermal core, so the tier 3, the top tier, if not to tier 1, but the top level of thermal protection, I'm still cold. I think if you have this stuff, I feel like you should probably be fairly protected. Even with like tier 5s and 6s across the board, I'm still cold. Oh, and like the overlay gets fairly jittery, actually. What's causing that? It was there for a second, it's gone now. But okay, so it's not all the way there. There's a whole other system for it. We'll see how that plays as time goes on, but I like that there is now, they've got the temperature stuff in mind. I feel like it should still be, you know, you have the stuff for the cold weather, have to swap it out for the hot weather to actually dress yourself appropriately, but I mean, if it is what it is, if that's what we have to play with, then we'll see how we go. Actually, what if I get some of these? So there's insulated liner mods. They're back again. They don't give you protection against explosives like they used to, but they do give you protection against the elements. So if I let's grab the top tier. Grab the top tier ones are you, modify that, and to start whacking this stuff in. Immediately over 10 degrees. So what's better? Is it better to have the mods or the liners? No, okay, so I do get cold, and I get colder than when I had the liners on. Okay, so it's got to be a combination of both. I don't mind that. I don't mind that at all. I do wish it was more specific, like you had to have the hot and cold, but like this is okay. This is totally fine. I think that as we get used to it, I think that'll be a good change as well. Okay, enough about that though. Old mate Jigglypuff. How you doing, Cobham? What's news? Look at you, you big sodden bastard. Jeez, you've got your guts ripped out of you as well. Your puffer jacket didn't help you. And a new throwing animation. Still can't shoot the rocks out of the air though, which is a shame. But he picks it up and throws it like an American football, like he's playing gridiron. Fuck a big bad Tom Brady over here. Yeah, definitely can't. Definitely can't shoot the rocks. You're coming over though, but there's only one here. I can only see the one, whereas before, they'd be everywhere. They'd be bloody everywhere. I like this though. It's a zombie again. A big, angry looking zombie man. I'm gonna stand next to this car and get you to throw another rock at me. There's another one out there. Go on, big cheese. Big arm. The Hail Mary. Do you still destroy stuff? That did basically nothing. Oh, it's not another one. Right here. Right here, right in the midst. I don't feel like you're doing anything at all. You can please piss off. If I get a hammer out, can I check the health of that car? Because I don't think it was doing nearly as much. So they don't hit quite as hard as they used to. This is just on default difficulty, by the way, so just as is. What about if I get like some actual proper blocks though? Are they still a base killing machine? Here we go. He's loaded up. Cannon for an arm. There's no spiral on that at all. Thank you for your service. Get out of here. That's nowhere near as bad as it used to be. So for like lower levels, yeah, like wooden stuff, that's probably gonna, but it's still a 2-tapper. Actually, no, it's a 1-tapper. It's 500 wood for a, sorry, 500 health for a wood block, so a 1-tapper wood block, but yeah, okay. That's nowhere near as bad as it used to be. Those are definitely good changes. Good changes. Good changes to the spit up, so here's the Cowboy now. Good changes to him. Good changes to the FrostClaw, which is now, what's he actually called, actually? He's called, oh, there we go. His name's Chuck. Zombie Chuck. How many rocks would a zombie Chuck chuck if a zombie Chuck could chuck rocks? Apparently a couple with a cannon of an arm as well. Those are good changes. I rate that. I rate it. Feels right for the world. That's a good change. The next thing on my list is, something from the olden days that's made a comeback. So the smell system is back again. There's 2 different kind of versions of it. The first one being, if I'm holding meat, and that's kind of what I was alluring to before with the raw meat bundle. So if you have meats, I was smelly for 10 seconds there, you were carrying something stinky, you've got seconds before it starts smelling. And then it starts smelling up to what? 30 meters? So with raw meat, the more meat that you're carrying, the further your smell will travel. It's still ticking up. It's still ticking up. I reckon he knows where I am. In fact, can I... Oh, you definitely do. G'day to you. Here, take it. Take the meat. Gobble it yourself. And even though I've thrown the meat away, actually. So even though I've thrown the meats, sit down, I'm still a smelly boy. So it's not the meat itself that's smelly. It's me carrying it. So the smell's attached to me specifically. And look at them all coming for me too. So 100 meters. I'm smelly for 100. Is that 100 meters diameter or 100 meters radius? That's a very important thing to know, because if it's 100 meters radius, it's 200 meters basically all around me. So every zombie everywhere is going to know where I am. That is good. I like that. I like that change. But then you have this. So if you have paper and some plant fibers, a bundle of raw meat wrapped tightly to prevent unwanted attention. It's gonna make a whole bunch of them. It's gonna take 20 seconds to make. The rest of the excess meat can go away so I can stop being smelly. Nice, good. So how smelly do I get out of you? Is it any smell? Doesn't look like it. No smell whatsoever. That's good. Yeah, if you're gonna go hunting and if you're gonna carry smelly stuff on you, you're gonna be less stealthy, you're gonna draw attention to you. That's how this game used to be. It was one of my favorite mechanics. I love that that's back. I wanna see though, what about canned meat though? Because that was always why canned meat was so good back then, was that you could carry cans with you and it wouldn't be smelly. Although I currently have you on me and I'm not smelly. So smell distance. Oh my goodness. So this isn't just if you're carrying raw meat anymore. It's also if you eat. So if I eat you, that's some very rotten shit. That's not the color that's supposed to be. I promise you that. So that's going to kick on up. It said 25 meters, didn't it? So I'm smelly for 25 meters because I ate stuff. Does that start ticking down again? It does. But not very quickly. Not very quickly at all. Although there is something for that. I'm not sure if you're going to be deep enough, but just deepify it a little bit and jump on in. Submerge yourself in water, have a bit of a bath, and it gets rid of the smell. So if you eat something and you're stinky, have a shower, get your hygiene up, spray on some deodorant or something, and you won't be stinky anymore. What about if I have the raw meat on me again? So I'm being very smelly. You've got seconds before something else catches a whiff. So you have some time to chuck it into a box or something to avoid being stinky. And it starts going up. What if I get wet again? Can I get under? Yeah, there you go. Removes it completely. And does the countdown start again? It does. And look how cold I am because I got wet. Dude, this game is a survival game again. Oh my goodness. It does say as well, there's some options for how the smell mechanics work. So whether zombies will like sprint over to, even if they're walkers, or, you know, how, or you can just turn it off completely. Like, you have some adjustability on that. But you'll also have, if you're indoors and you're sheltered, I'll just go straight through here and get inside. G'day everyone. That's the wrong button. Then apparently it's only 20% of the smell that it would be otherwise. So if you're inside your base and you have smelly stuff, you still have some effect, but won't be nearly as bad as being outdoors. Does it actually represent that on the thing, or does it not? Am I not sheltered? No, so that's only 20 meters now. With all that meat, it's only 20 meters. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. There's one more piece of this smell mechanic that I'm not thrilled about having to show, but I think we need to show. Also, carcasses and stuff like that, like animal corpses, are now smellier. And in the perfect demonstration, which I had to plan it like that, zombies will smell and go for corpses of animals much more readily from further away. So you can use them as bait a little bit easier. You're gonna go, yeah, you're not even gonna go for me. You're gonna go and try and steal some lunch from the big behemoth over there. Oh, no, no, go away, please. Go with the rest of your friends. Look at them, they're coming in from everywhere. I'm sorry to do this to you, champion, but there's a bunch of zombies around. Some rotten meat. I'm not sure how much this is gonna have to chow down, but 12% chance of dysentery. I'm a little smelly from eating. So even rotten meat has the smell as well. If you carry a bunch of rotten meats, you're gonna be just as smelly. Jeez, they're all coming in. I'm smelly for 50 meters. Oh, look at it go. It's almost like I'm wearing a cowboy hat. Arlene's charging over. Haven't seen that eager in a long bloody time. Eat another. There you go. You feel sick to your stomach and you have diarrhea. And apparently now, every time you shit yourself, every time you fart with diarrhea, you let out a big old smell. Let's see if I can... I think submerge myself to try and get rid of the first bit of the smell. Can I crash down on you? There we go. I've got rid of one smelly thing out of my pockets. I'm about to fill my pants with another smelly thing. So is it like the concussion thing where periodically you look more washed out than you used to? Where periodically he's just got to shit himself and let out a bunch of stench and a bunch of smell and everyone's going to come to see him. I'll take all of you. That definitely looks more washed out. Less vibrant than it once was. I want to see what happens. I'm waiting to shit myself. Oh, there we go. There we go. He just pooped himself. Sounded pretty grim about it too. And now I'm a smelly boy. How far do I smell? Your scent is starting to spread. Gross. Absolutely gross for 34 meters. So it is like occasionally you're just going to be packing your dacks in all the worst ways. And everyone's got to bloody know about it. There's no hiding this shame. Again, I like it. I think that's a good change. I like that there's more things that can go wrong, and I like that the world feels harder to survive in. It's not just like a looter shooter anymore. The environment matters. Where you build your base with water supply matters. Eating the wrong things matters. If you get yourself come a cropper, you're gonna have some punishments in the actual gameplay mechanics. I like that. Choices and consequences, the more the better. I can probably start thinking about heading back to the Pine Forest for the next bit, but before I leave, how do I turn the storms on? There we go. Storms are kicking in. So it's got to be the winter storm, but part of this new update is there's like a warning before you actually get into the biome of storming, but more importantly, you're able to see the storm from a distance. And that's why I wanted to go back to the Pine Forest. So if I look into... Actually, when does the storm actually start in here? Anytime soon? Storm warning, seek shelter, so it's starting in a second, but I want to see what it looks like from a distance. Look how cold it is now too. It's gone from -4 to -20 almost. That's a proper frigid day. You know, I'd be cutting glass from across the roof if I was out here in this. I'm feeling, even with all the buffs going, I'm feeling really, really worse for wear. Will a coffee keep me warm? I reckon it might get me just over the line, back up over 10 degrees, so I'm not freezing. No, it won't. 7 degrees it gets me. So yeah, storm kicks on, it's a blizzard. Yeah, there we go. Storm's on. Storm's actually hitting me with a new debuff as well. The blowing snow is slowing all movements by 10%. Food consumption increased by 100%. Seek shelter to recover. Does that get worse on the next one? So like there's specific things now that just do damage over time immediately. What's level 2 doing? And now I'm taking damage. Okay, so there's still a bit of a grace period there. Reduce damage by 50% with a Scorcher Stew. Okay. So like those stews now help with the storms. I like that. Does that make me last a bit longer? It does. We're still ticking down barely, but I'm getting a little bit of health back as well. Okay. I like that mechanic a bit better as well. I'm liking a lot about this. It's not showing me the storm from a distance though. It definitely says that they're going to render storms from a distance so you can see it from a different biome, but maybe because I've just turned storms on, maybe it's like globally the storms are on, so there's no like barrier between them. Not sure. That's okay. That's all right. We'll find that out another day. I've turned all the storms back off again, back to normal. Maybe a storm will happen naturally later on. We get to see that in a distance, but anyway, I'm going to move on to the next thing on the list, which is one of the all-time most requested things that I've always bloody wanted in this game, an apiary. Look at ya. We can finally farm our own bees. Getting honey. Honey's such an important part of the whole game as a whole already. Farming honey is so difficult. You get a couple of things and some flowers. Okay, so there's all the attachments for it, and you just need like, is this actually given a reason to go and like find flowers in the world? Chuck in all of you, and you start, oh my goodness. I wonder if you get like, does it give you more honey? It's not just called red, it's called chrysanthemum. Does it give you more honey if there's more flowers in there? This doesn't seem to actually like matter which slot it goes into. Like that's what the plant looks like, not the flower. That's fine, that matches. I passed kindergarten, I can do that. So what if you get more honey based on the more flowers you have? But that's so good. Oh, we finally have an apiary. We don't have chicken coops yet, but if we have this, surely chicken coops aren't far down the road. So to make one though, what do you need? Apiary, you need level 30 for workstations, beeswax, wood, nails, forge iron, and duct tape. So to get beeswax, do I have to go and harvest that from tree stumps? Kind of like what I did before this one right there. Grab one of you. You gave me just straight up honey. Well, we'll keep trying. In fact, I wonder, do you reckon the honeypot farms, let's just find one in the Pine Forest, please. That's Honeysuckle Trailer Park, not quite the same place. All right, stop it. We'll just go to the snow. Do you reckon there's, no, it's still the old style ones. Can I break you and get the beeswax out of those? You're just giving me wood? Because I mean, it's a honey farm. These are apiaries, but not workable ones. What about you guys? Do you giving anything? No, you don't. All the zombies can piss off, please. Oh, just a couple of rads around as well. No honey. No honey. Oh, sorry, no beeswax. Oh, I'm breaking out so many stumps and finding none. Where do you get them from? I'm just finding none. I'm finding absolutely none. I found... So you start complaining and you find what you need. I'd broken out so many stumps. I found full 5 jars worth of honey out of you. That is the first beeswax that I found, and then no more. And that was the last honey as well, so I can't track the quest to find the stumps a bit easier. Right, so you do get you out of the stumps. One of the main ingredients of the craft, an apiary. So it's going to be a long slog to get the beeswax you need to make an apiary, but that's fine. Because, I mean, it should be hard to get that, because once you have that, then you have honey forever. Perfect. Yet again, I think a really good change. A really good change out of that. I don't want, like, the survival stuff to be easy. I just want there to be mechanics to eventually, like, when you play the game enough and you survive long enough, things should be able to be automated and made easier. You should be able to build yourself an apiary and a chicken coop. Once you get there, like, not like day 3, day, like, 50, you know, like really a long way down the line, something to work towards, because I'm struggling. There's more honey, struggling to find any more wax. They're hard to get. That's gonna make stump hunting just so much more valuable as well. It's like every time you're going anywhere, you see a stump, you absolutely gotta stop by and break it down to see if you can get some wax early. I've also been breaking down the trees to see if I get some out of you, but none so far. And I do wonder, in the books, so it's Wasteland Treasures Volume 1, adds a small chance to harvest honey from trees. Doesn't mention wax. I don't think it's fair to assume that it's going to include wax, so I guess not. It's just going to be stumps forever. I've immediately gotten so distracted just looking for stumps everywhere just to see if I can find a second one. Still no. any more stumps. Even with God mode and moving around very quickly and be able to one-tap the stumps with the God wrench, it's still not paying off for me. Maybe it's something to do with like motherload or something. Maybe there's something in the code that someone else will know better than me. Please tell me if you know, like on the back-end data, if there's a way to improve your chances of finding some. Because that's a lot of stumps. A lot of stumps for just the one that I've managed to find. And no more. And no more. Okay. That's all right though. This is still good. I'll come back to my apiary just to see how you're going. So in all that time, it's got a bee's dick. Well, I've never said that more appropriately than right now. Got a bee's flaccid doodle of hunting in there at the moment, so not much, but it'll take time. I wonder if it'll use the flowers to do so. I assume it will. That's like the fuel for it. That's fine. That is A-okay. And actually, because the beeswax is so hard to find, that means that you're never really going to have an abundance of honey. You're not going to be able to have just like 15 apiaries on the go. They're going to be precious. That's good. I'll rate that very highly. But now we've had an explorer of that one. What's next? There's actually not much stuff left to go either. But the next thing on my list is there's a change to the turret ammo. So is that Terry the turret, or is that going to be like the SMG turrets? So looking at the SMG turret, it still shows 9mm. I can't put 7.62 in there, although can I get like armor piercing ammo, chuck that in? Yes, you can. And you can load up all different types as well. So it's like clown ammo. That's pretty bloody sick. So you can run APs and high powers, hollow points, which I always bloody call them. I don't just say HP anymore. You can run the special ammo types through turrets, which is good because you do find quite a lot of those. But Tezza, if I grab you, can I load you with something else? Oh, there we go. So it wasn't working before, but I can hold R and change what you run. That though, great change. Great change. Just chuck different. As long as it's the same caliber, chuck the ammo in and the turret will work. But that's it, I think. That's everything that I had written down. I've gone through except for the lucky last. And if you've read the update list, if you've read the patch notes, you know exactly where I'm going. Where are ya? It's all looking much the same out here, but if you've heard the rumors are true. We have a new trader gen. It's almost like every time there's an uproar in the community, they go, no, it's fine. Look, here's a new trader gen to distract you with the sparkly things. Here's another version of him. I don't mean to alarm anyone, but this is the same trader gen. I'm so sure this is the same gen as we've always had. Oh, jeez. Gouge your bloody eyes out. Thank goodness it's not the winter biome, or I would have actually had them poking out the back of me. Good God. They're not sharp. You're the same. You're the exact same as you've always been. What? I've even generated a new world and gone and checked every single one, and all the gens are still the old style gen. I'm not sure. I'm definitely in 2.5. I mean, the world was generated for 2.5. It's just even in the burn forest. I've got no mods or anything running. Wait. No, Bell still doesn't bong. We don't have the new gen. We still can't bong any bells. Oh, no. I've been teased. I've been gen teased. I had to come and find another church just to make sure. Bell does still not go bong. Bells do not bong. What a disappointing way to end the video then. So we don't have the new gen. I don't know why I don't have the gen. I've double checked everything. It should be. Maybe she's just not in the update yet, but that comes out later. And bells do not go bong. But what's the verdict on 2.5? I asked the question at the start. Was this enough to save to fix 7 Days to Die? And I reckon, I mean, it's hard to know without like having a proper playthrough through it and see how it all balances out. But I think it's pretty good. From what I've seen, I think that's pretty good. I still don't like the stupid badges, although now it's turned into like the items to go into different biomes. Now we have the temperatures back. I don't think they're necessary. I wish there was separated thermal stuff, so protecting from the cold, and then separate items protect from the heat, because you can't protect from both of those. That's not quite how thermodynamics works. So I wish that was the barrier for entry into the biomes. If you want to go to the cold for the better loot, you need to dress for it, like it used to be. If you want to go to the hot for the better loot, you need to dress for that too. I don't think the biome badges are fun nor necessary. I think I'll be playing with those turned off until they're gone or just have them on there. I don't see the value or the fun in those, but everything else I think is really good. The storms are fine. I don't mind the storms at all. There's incentives for fighting through the storms as well. Like there's a higher loot drop for zombies in storms as well, so you have a reason to risk it out there. But the apiary is fantastic. Having temperature back is fantastic. Having the food smell back is fantastic. Eating things and being smelly. Shitting yourself and being smelly. In the wrong thing, having a punishment. That's fantastic. I think this is a pretty good step, a big step in the right direction. It sucks that we had to go through everything to get to this point and have to have some idiot in an office much like mine with an accent much like mine who looks much like me have to talk about it the way that he did to have to kind of instigate the change. What a fucking muppet that guy was. But, but I think this is good. I think this is good. I like where we're at. I like that the jars are back. I don't like that they're single use, but I'll probably end up turning that to 90%. So sometimes jars break and so be it. The attrition will still be there. You'll have to make your own, but you're not, you know, shattering, not gobbling the glass as well as the water each time. I think we're pretty close to there, but I like that there's settings for it. The changes to the zombies are really good as well. I like that. There's also some other things I didn't go through, like there's more storage in some of the vehicles, but that's like neither here nor there. I think this is pretty good. I think this is pretty good. So we'll see how things turn out in the long run. We'll see how it plays when there's a proper playthrough. Is this enough to lure me back to 7 days from Vane? I mean, I was never leaving 7 days forever. I still love 7 days. I just really loved playing Vane for the moment. I'll probably still be there for a little while, but this has the potential to be a much better game. I feel like we're heading in the right direction again, which is, I think, the most I can say for it. I think that's the highest praise I can give it. I wasn't expecting it to be perfect. I had my reservations, but if this is the launch pad that then we go to like to 3.0, the new things come with that. Fucking who gives a shit about bandits? That's gonna be delayed forever now. Sorry about that. But I think this as a survival game is better. But we'll see how it plays out for a proper playthrough. But I'm gonna have to leave this in. So there you go. There's your first taste of 2.5, the survival revival. Or as they called it once, but I think they're trying to walk that back now, the community goodwill update. They did call it that. That was a little bit cringy, but they got rid of it. I haven't seen it since. But I think they've done a good job with it. So we'll see. I'll have to come back and have another crack at 7 days in another episode though, because this episode is done. So thank you guys for watching. Most of all, thank you to the patrons of Patreon who made this episode possible. If you liked it, make sure you hit the like button down below and subscribe to this channel. Follow me on whatever. If I don't talk to you there first, then I'll see you in the next episode. Have a good one.